Hello everyone, and welcome to the PPL Division 2 Season 1 Week 1 Power Rankings. God damn it, that's one hell of a title. Anyway, my name is Lorenzo. You guys may know me as Enzo, enzodiac, Enzodo. I don't even know what you know me as, but I'm here to do the Power Rankings for Week 1. Normally, I would have back Buraki XY with me, but we had massive scheduling issues. It was my fault, it was her fault. We both just completely missed out on each other to record these, and so I agreed to record them myself because on the weekdays she is incredibly busy and I have so much time, and so that's why I'm here all by myself, unfortunately. Beck will be joining me next week again, so you guys have two opinions. You guys have two amazing analysts, whatever. You have two people who give you shit about your team, about your playstyle, you know. But anyway, you guys can see on your screen right now the rankings from 12 to 9. They are my rankings as well as Beck's ranking. I just go over through my rankings and you guys can have a look at hers. Maybe she's gonna leave a comment on this video explaining some stuff, but yeah. Anyway, let's just get straight into it, shall we? So in the number 12 spot, we both have the Amityville Haunters and their coach Juan. I'm so sorry, I have no idea how to pronounce this. Anyway, we have the Amityville Haunters, unfortunately sitting on the last spot of the power rankings for a few reasons actually. First of all, I know Juan is more of a VGC player, and you know, when you play VGC and then you go back to the regular smoke on battles, it is really hard because in VGC you don't predict as much. VGC is just so much different, and he still had the mindset of VGC, which kinda cost him the game because as I saw from the battle, he hard switched a lot, which cost him so much momentum, which made his opponent just dominate over his team, and yeah, he lost so much momentum through that. But I watched his team building, and his team building was actually not that bad. It's just his opponent had knowledge over some of his mons and know what they could do, and he completely outplayed Juan, and I think he's aware of that, but he definitely did a great job. Otherwise, he tried to keep momentum when he wasn't hard switching. But yeah, Juan will definitely do better, hopefully next week, because he has a powerful draft. Let's face it, he has a really powerful draft, and I'm excited to see what he can do with it. Just, you know, predict a lot more. Like, you have to predict so much more in the singles format because there's just so much more happening there. But otherwise, I'm sorry, Juan, for being at the last spot, but I know you have so much potential and I know you're gonna do better. I feel like every time I do rankings, I'm just gonna be way too nice. But yeah, I know you can do better, Juan, and just show that off next week. I'd be more than happy to see you on the top of this power rankings table, and I know you can do it, so. Then we have on the 11th spot, the Newcastle United with their coach, the Amazing G. Amazing G, he didn't play that bad, to be honest, but I have to admit, watching his battles was kind of painful because he knew the right place, but he just didn't go for it. He had a really hard time working around the Granbull. If it just, you know, there was a situation where Granbull and Hexorus were facing each other, and that situation happened so many times, and he never went for Poison Jab. Literally, he was always thinking about going for Poison Jab, but he just didn't. Even though he knew that Gramble was gonna stay in. Gramble is not gonna switch out, or he had his Hexorus in and he knew Gramble was gonna come in. Poison Jab, even at -1, I think he even was adamant, an adamant Hexorus, and even at -1, a Poison Jab would have probably been a 2-hit KO, or at least a 3-hit KO, because I think Hexorus can take a player off from a defensive Gramble. So he lost a lot of momentum because of that Hexorus Gramble matchup, but he didn't really recover from that. He did not recover from that at all. He lost so much momentum, which really cost him the game, really. But he did make some nice plays, to be honest. The first turn was extremely nice when his opponent had his Sharpedo in, and he just straight up killed it. Turn 1, which was nice because Sharpedo, I know how threatening Sharpedo can be, and killing it turn 1 is an amazing thing, and you don't have to worry about that anymore because Sharpedo was such a huge threat to his team. But he worked around it, he really worked around it, and that was amazing. Props to you, Amazing G. And other amazing predictions were, for example, he had his paralyzed Mega Venusaur in. He predicted the switch into Talonflame, went for HP Rock, which would have definitely killed the Talonflame. But unfortunately, the Mega Venusaur was paralyzed. But if he would have connected the HP Rock, I don't know if that would have been game changing at all, but it would have definitely helped him out because the Talonflame in the back, just the mindset that there's a Talonflame in the back who can come in anytime and just kill something with a Brave Bird is really threatening. Yeah, as I just said, Hex definitely was not in his favor in this battle, but yeah, you just have to, you know, when you lose like that, just don't let it get down, just don't let it drag you down. Again, Amazing G has an amazing draft, he has an awesome draft, which he can definitely do some stuff with, and yeah, just try again next week, it's gonna be amazing. But with that, that's all I have to say about these. So let's move on to Chicago Cup Choose and their coach, which I think is Carter. Yeah, there we go, it's Carter and the Chicago Cup Choose. The game was definitely interesting. I have to admit that his opponent played so well, but Carter did he did play a little bit, to say the least, weird. Definitely, looking at Kelly's team, Rotom Heat was definitely Carter's win condition. It definitely was his win condition. And tricking the Choice Scarf onto Mew was a huge misplay, who might have cost him the game. It definitely cost him the game because Rotom Heat was his win condition. And, you know, after tricking the Choice Scarf to a Mew, who revealed the Scald before, he then went for a Volt Switch. Like, he would have been better off hard switching into something because the Scarf Scald from a Mew was way too obvious. In general, he should have played the Rotom Heat a lot better, because after he took the Scald, it was definitely the only thing that Rotom Heat was there for was Death Father, because it was dead on re-entry because of Stealth Rocks. But yeah, I was actually kind of disappointed because Rotom Heat was such a huge threat to Kel's team and put so much pressure on each single Mon of Kelly's team. But he just kinda let it get wasted. Like, he let to get wasted. Oh god. But anyway, then there was another situation where he had a Spiritomb. His Spiritomb was in the battle, and Kelly brought in his Crobat, and I don't know what happened there, because after Carter brought in his Spiritomb, he double switched. He brought in his Spiritomb and then double switched into something else, even though Kelly had his Crobat and a U-turn. I don't know. You should always expect a U-turn from a Crobat, at least in my opinion. Even on a defensive one, you should always be aware. You should always have it in the back of your head that this Crobat could potentially carry U-turn. And of course, Kelly has so much experience in this draft format, and he just went for a U-turn, of course, because it hits the Spiritomb for neutral damage, and he can't get burned. So Kelly did an amazing play right there, and I don't know, Carter, what happened there? You should not have switched you should not have double switched this Spiritomb. You probably should have just gone for a Calm Mind, even though there was an unaware Clefable. Either Calm Mind, which would have put on so much pressure, go for a Will-Wisp, whatever, just Shadow Ball, something else, what the hell. Oh wait, he didn't even have Will-Wisp. Just Shadow Ball, Calm Mind, just do something, but not double switch on a U-turn, which was to be expected, to be honest. Also, there was a situation where he brought in his Mega Gardevoir. He brought in his Gardevoir Mega Evolved and went for a Hyper Voice on a Clefable. I mean, Kelly had his Clefable in and Carter his Mega Gardevoir, and he went for a Hidden Power Fire. Of course, it worked out for him because he brought in because Kelly switched out his Clefable into a Jirachi. But what if he didn't? Honestly, what if he didn't switch out his Jirachi? What if he didn't bring in his Jirachi? I mean, after Stealth Rocks, Jirachi had like 10% HP left, so even a Hyper Voice would have killed it. So I don't know, because if he didn't switch out the Clefable and he went for HP Fire, it would have done crap. Yeah, it would have done crap, and Hyper Voice would have done so much damage to a Clefable regarding its EV spread. So I kind of did not agree with that play, but yeah, it worked out for him. I mean, it worked out for him, but you just have to go for the safer options. And also, of course, there was another situation. I always say another situation, but anyway, he had his Gardevoir in, and I think after Jirachi went down, Kelly went into his Milotic, and of course, Gardevoir went for Taunt, which was in my opinion, that was an amazing play. If he really had Mirror Coat or Recover Toxic, Taunt would have helped him out so much. But of course, it was a 50-50 play. Kelly just went for a Scald, which surprisingly did so much damage to a Mega Gardevoir. But that Taunt was really a 50-50 play. But in my opinion, it wasn't a misplay at all. It was a play that could have helped him so much further on in the game. But Kelly was smart enough to go for this Scald anyway, and yeah, that's about it what I have to say about Carter. The game overall was amazing, but I get more in-depth when I talk about Kelly, I think. Yeah. Anyway, in the 9th spot, moving on to the 9th spot, of course, we have the Boston Brillooms and their coach, Chaos in the Sky. Honestly, I don't have much to say about this game. Because this game was all over the place. I mean, honestly, I already thought the first turn was a huge misplay on Chaos' side, because the first turn was his checks Salamence in on his Mega Aggron. In my opinion, I mean, what I would have done, I would have gone for T-Wave first turn rather than Stealth Rocks, because T-Waving Salamence, that would have come in such handy. Like, Salamence is a fucking fast Pokemon, and going for T-Wave would have not hurt him whatsoever. The rocks he set up first turn did not matter because Jack had defog on the Salamence and just went for it afterwards. So I didn't agree with that play at all. So I mean, also defog on the Salamence was to be expected, because Jack didn't have anything else that could either get defog or rapid spin, so that the Salamence had defog was to be expected, and in my opinion T-Wave would have been a such better play. But yeah, and even if he switched out the Salamence and he went for T-Wave, he could have either paralyzed the Victini, the Gardevoir, he could have T-Waved so many things. But yeah. Also, what I didn't agree with was Dazzling Gleam on Victini. He said in his team builder that it's specifically for the Salamence and the Mega Altaria, which, I mean, it is a nice idea, but usually Glaciate is the much better choice, because A, Glaciate hits a switch in regular Taria for 4 times super effective damage, as well as the Salamence 4 times effective. Also, you lower their speed by 1 stage, which you kinda needed, especially when the Altaria set up Dragon Dance. Because, okay, an Altaria with +3 attack, but no plus speed is still handleable. I mean, it's much easier to handle than it has +3 speeds and no plus attack, whatever. I mean, Glaciate would have been the much better choice. So I didn't agree with Dazzling Gleam at all. And he said it is a 2 KO on both of those dragons, but I think so would have been Glaciate, and Glaciate has a secondary effect which would have helped him out quite a bit. So I was kind of confused by that, but we saw the results. We saw the results from that battle. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Chaos. I think that's pretty much it for the bottom 4 teams. As you guys can see, me and Beck pretty much agreed on the rankings. If she wants to leave a comment explaining some things, what made her put these people where they are, that would be amazing. Just put it in the comments, Beck. I know you're watching this. I hope you are. What the hell? Anyway, I think we shall move on to the next. Yeah, there we go. To the next 4 teams, which are the spots 5 to 8. What the hell? So now let's move on to the next guy. On my 8th spot, I have the Philadelphia Flygons and their coach LacenMC. I just put them in the 8th spot because I had to watch Jordinez battle to know what even happened, because I think Lacen didn't even upload his battle. I don't know why. So I can't really judge. I just know that he played a solid game. He tried to withstand Jordinez, but got outplayed, and otherwise he did a fantastic job. I just can't really judge too much because I don't know his mindset. I don't know what happened in his head. But yeah, still he deserves the 8th spot. He still does, and well done. But moving on to number 7, me and Beck again agree on the Glass City Gliscor and their coach RubyMarrow. I don't have much to say about this. If you heard what I said about Amazing Chi, RubyMarrow had basically an answer for everything on Amazing Chi's team, especially with the Gramble, Talonflame. He just countered. He just always countered Amazing Chi whenever he could, and he did an amazing job with that. I mean, there's not much to say about that. He played amazing. He won, of course, and it just was a solid game overall. He took down Amazing Chi's team 1 by 1 and preserved his score. He preserved his score. Kelly, pay attention. He preserved his score by switching out Gramble and bringing in on his last Pokemon to get another Intimidate off, just to I don't know, just to make it easier for him, so he actually knows that he can preserve his score. So very well done, Ruby. On to next week. Okay, after the Glass City Glyce course, we have on my number 6 spot, I have the Maryland Torterrapin. Kelly's probably gonna hate me for this, but I have absolutely no clue how to pronounce your freaking team name. But I know you're probably gonna give me shit for this, but as we all know, Kelly is an experienced player in the league formats, and he definitely showed that in his battle. He knew what to do. He knew what to do to win, and I did agree with loads of his plays, but there have been moments where I was like, what the hell is you doing, boy? So he wanted, pretty early in the game actually, he wanted to sack off his Mew because he hates it. That is no freaking reason to ever sack off a Mew. Even I would have understood that decision if it didn't need it anymore, but even a defensive Mew is still extremely helpful when it's scarfed. I know he had he got the scarf tricked to him, but even then, a defensive Mew would have been so useful against his opponent's team. So I did not understand the decision to sack off his Mew, especially if you could have saved it and potentially preserved your score. I did not get that. I do not agree with that play whatsoever, but in the end he switched out his Mew, decided against sacking it off, but I mean, I just didn't get it. As well, he also wanted to sack off his Jirachi against, after killing the, I think it was the Scizor, he left it in on a Spiritomb and went for Iron Heads all the time. It was a fucking stall fest. Going for Iron Heads, not necessarily trying to flinch him, but getting flinches as your opponent tries to rest up, and the Iron Head wasn't even a free-hit KO. I don't know. I don't know why would you ever decide to make a battle this unnecessarily long, because I know these Iron Heads, they worked out, but it didn't get you anywhere. Your opponent didn't get any Shadow Balls off, nor Calm Minds. The only thing he could do was literally rest, and Kelly noticed that. He saw that his opponent wasn't breaking through and could not kill him, and he decided to sack it off for whatever reason. I did not agree with that whatsoever. The Jirachi, I know he said he didn't want to risk a speed tie against his Gardevoir, but even then, oh my god, preserve a freaking Jirachi. Jirachi is one of the best Pokemon, in my honest opinion. And I don't know, you have to, first off, you have to preserve your score. Second, you have to play these mons a little bit better, because just sacking off a full health Jirachi, I think it was a pretty much full health. Sacking off a full health Jirachi is never a good idea, regardless of the situation you're in. I don't know, especially when you're in a league format. As I said, you have to preserve your score. I think Kelly won with a 3-0 victory, but honestly I thought it could have been at least a 4-0, in my honest opinion. But anyway, these were the two sacks I didn't agree with at all. Now let's go on to a kind of a misplay, in my opinion. There was, after his Garchomp, I want to say, went down to an Ice Punch, his opponent thought he would be choiced in any way. So I don't know. Of course, Kelly was not choiced. He knew that he wasn't choiced, and then his opponent brought in Scizor, who could have been potentially Scarf U-turn, Scarf knockoff. and he didn't care. He did not care in the slightest about a potential scarf scissor, and just went up straight for a fire punch. I did not agree with that too, either, whatever. I did not agree with that because if he was scarfed, I think a knockoff would have pretty much taken him out. A knockoff, potentially even a bug bite, would have done so much damage. I mean, I did not get that. Probably made this decision to sack off his Jirachi, but I mean, it worked out for him. He got the fire punch off and killed the scissor. I mean, props to you, Kelly, for making these plays and still getting away with them. I'm pretty sure there are other people who don't agree with those plays, but yeah, it's just I don't know what you were doing. You just gotta keep. You just have to. Certain possibilities are there, and you have to be aware of them. And if you actually are aware, use that knowledge to your advantage. I mean, what the hell? Anyway, yeah, that's basically all I have to say to Kelly. Just as I said thousands of times before, he said he doesn't care about the score. Dude, freaking preserve your score. Like, this is one of the most important things in a league format. Maybe it's coming down one day to being you first place or somebody else first place on the table, but you drop down to second place because of your score. I mean, score is pretty important in a league format, and you should definitely pay attention to that. Yeah, even if you're disregarding this, I'm gonna say it every single week. I don't even fucking care. But yeah, this has been all what I have to say about Kelly. Overall, a really solid game. I have to admit, I know how good of a battler Kelly is, and he definitely played well overall, and played an amazing game, and just always was one step ahead of his opponents. Most likely unintentionally, but whatever, it worked out for him. Amazing game, Kelly, props to you. Okay, in my 5th spot I have the Vicombi Wanderers and Troy, and their coach Troy. I do have Troy underneath Travistey. Even though Troy won. If you didn't watch his battle, spoilers, I guess. Troy won, but in my opinion, I think Travistey played a lot better overall. Troy won because of an air/miss. I mean, that's not something to. I mean, it's not a bad thing to win because of a miss. It's hacks. It happens, but. I mean, Troy played a solid game. He really did, and I mean, I just liked the mindset of Travistey a lot better. But I don't have much to say about this game. Troy had an amazing. His team building was on point. It really was on point. He had so many good ideas, and he definitely used Ente as his win condition, as Travistey didn't have anything for it. And just Troy did an amazing job. He really did. I don't have anything bad to say about this. Just sucks, of course, sucks for Travistey that he lost, but Troy definitely deserved to win as well. It was an intense match. I was on the edge of my seat during the whole battle. And just good job to both of you. I don't have anything bad to say about this game. Keep it up, Troy. You are gonna do so great in this league. I can already tell. Let's move on to the 4th spot. And me and Beck again agree with each other. We have the Melbourne Victory Star and their coach Electricstorm, or also known as Jack E-Storm, whatever you guys call him. I don't even freaking care. So first off, I'm thoroughly impressed by Jack because I did not know he was such a great battler. Oh my god. He is such a great battler. I don't know, he played fantastically. His prediction game really was on point. He predicted so many things, and that put his opponent back by so much. He predicted so much, and that really cost his opponent momentum, and he gained momentum by turn by turn, and I was a huge fan of that game. But one thing, I think that's the only thing I have to criticize about this battle. He kept momentum with Suicune really nicely by predicting the Volt Switch from Rotom, knowing he could live it and go for a rest, gets, you know, probably his opponent thought, oh yeah, he's gonna switch out, I can get switch initiative with Volt Switch, but Suicune took the Volt Switch nicely and he went for a rest then, so his opponent had to switch out and bring something in on a full health Suicune, so that was extremely nice. Also, there was another play where he did it amazingly, predicting the Rapid Spin from a Donphan, knowing he could live. I think it only took like 10 damage from the Rapid Spin. Knowing he could live the Rapid Spin, outspeeding the Donphan and going for a rest afterwards. So his opponent had to deal with, again, with a full health Suicune, so that was amazing. I was a huge fan of that. Very well done, Jack. But one thing, at some point of the battle, I really thought he should have sacked the Suicune to another Volt Switch, because the only things Jack could have gotten off a rest was either the Donphan or the Aggron. So I didn't quite agree with preserving the Suicune at that point. He should have just fathered it off to another Volt Switch from a Rotom. But he preserved it, but it worked out. I mean, it worked out. So I can't really complain about that. So overall, Jack played amazingly. I love seeing battles like that. I really do. So anyway, I could basically say to the last 4 people right here, oh, you played an amazing game, keep it up. Because they all did. But yeah, that's all for Jack. Let's go to the number 3 spot, which are the Tampa Bay. I don't even know what Tampa Bay is. Is that like a state in the United States? I have no freaking clue. The Tampa Bay Luxrays. Fortunately enough, Beck has the Tampa Bay Luxrays on the first spot, so she definitely was a huge fan of that game, from what I can tell. But yeah, let me just get my notes real quick. There we go. Of course, I was close to putting Monotooi to the second or even the first spot as well, because he played I don't know, I was such a huge fan of the game as well, because Monotooi, he has so much knowledge about competitive Pokemon. Oh my god, I think it was Juan he faced, and knowing, I mean only that, how many guys of you know that a Raikou has to be shiny in order to use the Aura Sphere, and also it has to be Rush nature. How many of you know that? Like, I didn't. I honestly did not know that, because it's only an event Raikou gets the Aura Sphere, and he know that. I didn't. I would have choked right there, but he knew. So that was amazing. Yeah, I also was a huge fan. I was a huge fan of how he played the Uxie. He got a Rocky Helmet kill, which was amazing, because I think he switched it in onto something, and I think it was Tornadus actually. I think it was Tornadus. He's brought it in on a superpower, and even if he went for U-turn, Rocky Helmet would have killed the Tornadus. Juan would not have gotten any switch initiative nor regenerate a health pack, and that was amazing. Monotooi played the Uxie so freaking well. The U-turn gave him so much momentum. He as well. I think I was the U-turn on Gastrodon, which made him basically win the game. He went for Energy Ball first on the Gastrodon, and then predicting him to switch out, he went for a U-turn. I mean, that's basically a generic play, but he could have taken out the Gastrodon with another Energy Ball, but he knew his opponent was gonna switch, so he went for U-turn. I mean, that was amazing. But yeah, he gained so much switch initiative, and Uxie was just too much to handle for Juan, honestly. But overall, it was a really, really solid game, and this is definitely a great start to the season for Monotooi. Just one thing, one small thing I have to say is, he noticed that himself. He had the minus speed nature on Hariyama, or minus speed EVs. I don't know what he said. He didn't outspeed the Gastrodon, and I mean that's something you have to prepare for. If you prepare your mons, you have to prepare for every single mon, and I mean he should have prepared his Hariyama. He should have put EVs in speed so he can outspeed a regular Gastrodon. I mean that's what I would have done, and the Gastrodon would have died relatively early to a knockoff plus close combat combination, but of course because he didn't have speed EVs, the Gastrodon was able to outspeed and go for a recover. So the game ended up being a little bit longer than it had to be, but anyway, that's the only thing I have to criticize right here. As I said, it was a fantastic game, it really was. I was a huge fan of that. In the second spot, I have the North Melbourne Kangaskhan's and their coach Travistey. I know Travistey lost, as I said earlier when I was talking about Troy. I know Travistey lost, but his plays were out of this world. He did an amazing job. I'm a huge fan of Travistey. His plays were on point. He played around all that disgusting bulk. If you have seen the battle, Troy had a Florges, a Regenerator Core, and just all around bulky mons, and Travistey played around that really nicely. Also his preparation was on point. I like the idea of low sweep Sableye. I didn't even know Sableye gets low sweep. I had no freaking clue it gets that, but low sweep definitely came in clutch at one point because it prevented him from being swept. Because if he didn't get the low sweep off, I don't know what situation it exactly was. I can't quite remember because I watched this video so long ago. I think it was on Entei. He lived a Sacred Fire, went for a low sweep, and then brought in something that can outspeed the Entei after -1 speed. And oh, was it Gliscor? Oh, it was Gliscor. It was freaking Gliscor. Gliscor got up a Sword Stance. He went for low sweep. Just he prevented the sweep, which was amazing. Very well done, Travistey. Keep it up. Definitely keep it up like this. In the end, I also was a huge fan of that. In the end, what he had to do to win was to go for a nasty plot with Togekiss on a switch and then just air slash everything. Literally, that's all he had to do. And he did that. He saw his win condition, went for it, and lost because of air slash miss. But I mean, that's Pokemon for you. That's Hexed. It happens. But yeah. So I'm really confident in Travistey that he's gonna be on the top of the table next week if he keeps up this good work. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Travistey. Moving on to the first spot, we have the Southampton Sneasels and their coach Jordinez. Jordinez? You guys have all freaking weird names, what the hell? I mean, Jordinez is my number one. Is on my number one spot for a few reasons actually. I mean, that game, Jordinez didn't allow his opponent to do stuff. He played amazingly well, and I don't know, the game was, it was perfect. In my opinion, there was not much I would have done otherwise, and I think it was in the beginning where his Miltank outsped the Thundurus, and from that he knew that it was a Modest, and what I would not have noticed that. And Jordinez is amazing battler. What the hell? After this battle, I was really impressed, and I don't have anything bad to say about this battle. It was a perfectly played match, and Jordinez definitely deserves to be on the first spot. So huge props to you, congratulations, you are the best from week 1, in my opinion at least. Beck doesn't agree with me, what the hell, Beck? But I think that's it with the power rankings for week 1. Guys, just something I just want to say real quick. If you watch this and you were like, what the hell is he talking about? You have to apologize. This is my first time doing any sort of power rankings, analyzing any battles, and I don't know if I did it correctly. I just put together a list. I'm quite unsure if I did it right, but if you disagree with my list, disagree with things I said, put your own power rankings down into the comment section. Let me know what your power rankings are and also your reasoning behind it. Just let me know. Let me know, because I'm quite unsure about this. I'm trying to do my best job right here, but yeah, just help me out a little bit. That would be amazing. Next week I have Beck to help me out and 2 opinions just to strengthen mine. But yeah, as I said, leave your own power ranks in the comments down below. Tell me where you disagree with me, where you agree with me. I would be thankful, eternally thankful, if you can say that. But also something else I want to say after me being so unsure about the power rankings. Something else. Seriously, I watched I watched all battles. I watched all battles, and some were a pain in the ass to watch. I'm not even kidding. If you upload battle replays, make sure it's freaking sped up. I mean, you have a hard time commentating over such a slow battle, as well as it's a pain in the ass to watch, because as we all know, the regular battles are going so slow, the animations are disgustingly long, and it's just speed it up. Whenever I upload a battle, I speed it up by 20 to 30%, and I definitely recommend you doing the same thing. If you can't do that, ask somebody else to do it for you. It makes the video shorter, it makes it more enjoyable to watch, and it's just all around better. Also, background music. If you upload, I think it was Amazing G. I'm not trying to call you out here, buddy, but you upload like a 40-minute video without any background music. Bruh. I mean, you're a handsome guy. I'm not complaining about you, but 40 minutes without any music. I know I could just put on my own background music, but just think of your viewers. I mean, if they have to watch a 40-minute battle video without any music, bruh, what is you doing, fam? But that's not only for that's just the prime example. But that goes out to every single one of you. If you upload a battle replay or just a battle in channel and you don't add background music, it's gonna be boring as whatever as. It's gonna be as boring. So yeah, these are my tips to every single one of you. Speed up the battle if you're uploading a replay. Add background music. Yeah, that's basically all my tips. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been the power rankings for week 1 of the Division 2 of the PPL, and this has been me, enzodiac. I hope my channel links will in the description down below, so you can definitely go check me out because I'm amazing. And as I said, Beck will be joining me next week. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a nice day, everyone. Bye.